Hey everybody, good morning. Morning. Let's see, we got a nice crowd today. Infinity coming on in on top there. Valerie Mohammed, don't recognize your name, but welcome to the stream. David, Nikki, Arturo, Svenborn, how's Iceland? Here it's cold up there. Anyway, Sergio, Everett, Keith, John, Al, Indy, Donald, Sledge, good to see you, my man. Diane, Craig, Dex, Michael, Rick, Wade, Ben, Ted, Wortman Smith, Terrence, Philip, Kevin. Hey, everybody. Hey, Kevin, you made it to a live one. Wrongimer, sneaking in there. General Rush, good to see you, my man. Glad to have everybody. Darren, Aaron. Darren, Aaron, I love it. You guys have a habit of popping in with alliteration or whatever it is. You know, some same names sometimes. Cliff, good morning. So if you want to chat with me, like all these fine people saying, hey, good morning, all you got to do, jump over, click the button over here in the corner, the subscribe button. Be a subscriber on the channel. A few seconds later, it opens up a world of possibilities to chat with us while we're live. Good morning, everybody. Laura Marizio, Cliff, Jason. Love it. Love it. Anyway, glad to see you. My daughter Karen is working. She teaches school and has to work in the mornings, you know. So she's back at the grind. Anyway, hey everybody. Hey. All right, so big news of the day: Nvidia earnings. Oh my gosh, Nvidia earnings. What is gonna happen? That is the question, right? That is the question. Lots of rolling dice, spinning the wheel. I don't know. We'll pop it up and look at it here, right here. So, I was talking about this last evening during 30 Minutes of Awesome. Been talking about this kind of quite a bit, that we are way extended on Nvidia. I mean, look at this baby. This thing is sitting about 50, it was sitting about 50 something percent above the roadmap line there. And that's from right over here. Look, I mean, 55%. Now, my example, my analog that I've been using, you have to fly back long ago in a land far away called the dot-com bubble. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, we saw Cisco, the maker of switches and routers for the internet. Everybody thought the internet was going to save the world. You could put .com in anything and your company price would explode. Go put .com, launch a website, go public, everybody gets rich, right? Cisco was the power for that. They made the switches, they made the routers. The internet can't work without switches and routers, right? AI can't work without Nvidia GPUs, as we've heard. Well, Cisco popped, and then it dropped all the way back down. And here we are 20 something years later, 25 years later, just now coming back up to that value where Cisco was. So, the moral of the story, could Nvidia drop pretty big? Yeah, be freaking careful, okay? We do have earnings coming up after the close today. Estimating a 4.5 on the top, a $20 billion bottom, and earnings are always a story of half the past, what did we do, and half the future, what are we going to do? They can disappoint on both fronts. So, a lot of times people are like, what the heck happened? Nvidia had, XYZ had blowout earnings and still dropped. Well, this chart right here, fully cooked, would not surprise me one single bit. Now, am I all in on a drop? Shoot, no. And if we got a substantial drop today, maybe, I don't know. Let's play with some numbers here. Maybe down into the 500-600 area. We might go blasting off again. Now, if we come all the way down to this low, possibly we need to revisit the roadmap line. It kind of comes at it both ways. But this 50% retrace is still sitting there at around that 600 area. So I have a an alert set for me to book my puts on a 100-point drop off of that high. I bought some puts when we were up there banging around last week. Kept banging, couldn't push through. I bought some puts yesterday when it broke through 700. I had my alert go off. Let's see, right there. It said Rutro. Nvidia's dropping. And I might book the profit right there if we get there. Could very well do it today. That would set us up potentially to go ripping off on earnings tonight. What's the expected move on Nvidia? Let's go. Let me pull up a broker real quick. We'll just look at the option chain. Dun, 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 dun. Give me a second to load the platform. We'll talk about that. Now, before I go too far into actual trades and stuff, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, and fun. Entertaining, right? It's not a recommendation to buy or sell anything. Don't buy stuff from me. Don't buy stuff from other gurus unless you trust them. All right? My friend Jack Carter has a big launch today. I don't really know much about it, but I hear it's something fun. It's exciting. Maybe check it out. But I don't know anything about it, so I can't vouch for it. You got to make sure you trust it. All right? If you've gotten 9 gazillion texts, and if you're just annoyed with it, then don't go check it out. Maybe later we find out about it. Anyway, so what I'm doing, not a recommendation to buy or sell anything from anybody. And certainly not a recommendation to buy stocks, options, Forex, futures, cryptos, bonds, treasuries. Don't buy them, don't short them, don't long them, don't trade them. It's all a substantial risk of loss. If you desire personal financial advice, you got to hire and consult a financial advisor. All right? I'm going to try to log into my platform, load the brokerage, and we can look at the expected move. And I can tell you, I can show you how to do an expected move. This was I briefly mentioned this yesterday morning, and people had some questions about, well, how does that actually work? So let's load this baby up. I have Tasty Trade loaded up here. Let's make it full screen for now. So what you would do, February, we got the 23rd here. So here's the option chain. Here's the at the monies. Basically what you do, we're at 694, 695, close enough. You would sell both sides of this. So right now, the midpoint, 75. 75 is the expected move, up or down. Right there. Up or down. Could go up, could go down. 75. Now we're already, what? I don't know how high off the top. Let's go back over there and zoom her up, Buttercup, and talk about how high we are, how far we dropped off the top already. So the top was right there. I have to grab another one of these. Let's just delete that one. Right there. Roughly 680, roughly. Yeah, we're 68 points down off the top, so that would put us right back up just a little bit higher, maybe just 750 on the upside. Or heading on down south. And this is only truly the most accurate right before the close today. Right there, I showed you. How do you come up with 75? At the money options, expiration this week. Sell that one, 75 right there in the mid. Got it? Yeah, I mean, you can go to here and zoom out and look at the expected move. You can see my options in here. There's the expected move. Right there you go. That's what they're pricing in. Everything in the green. All right. All righty. Any other questions? We can come back and talk about it. Now, the interesting thing, I was talking about SMCI yesterday and the ridiculousness there. We popped up, and Nvidia popping could take this higher. All right, so don't get me wrong here, but if you fly out to January 2026, you load this baby up, do the same option, same method, 574. It just gives you a number. Like, you don't have to visually do anything like that. Just 574, $574 move off of something that's $587 or $550. You know, these will change when the market's open. It's hard to get accurate numbers when the market's not open. $550 move, that puts it back at 200. That's kind of where I've been saying we probably should go back to. Right here, puts us right back down, 200. So look, JT's got a giant arrow. Haven't changed it. We saw a drop and a pop yesterday. These wicked moves tend to take, I don't know, 1 to 3 weeks to kind of take a bubble back out. When we've seen bubbly things in the past, like GME, AMC, Tilray, the list goes on and on. The list goes on and on. All right. There you go. That's how it kind of works. The option chain can tell you stuff pretty quick. All right. And any expiration, you want to know what the market's pricing in, you just go to that expiration, you click sell the at the money options. That's kind of what they're pricing, what the options market has priced in at that moment. And it's like, we can pop on Apple here. Apple. I want to know what Apple's going to do by March. You know, just go here, go here. They're only pricing in about an $8 move by March. You know, $8 move at either up to 190 down to, you know, 173. It's not a lot of move. Not a lot of IV priced into that. Now, clear it off. Go to Tesla. Say Tesla by March, right? A little bit bigger. Got an $18 move priced in by March. 23 days, about 3 weeks from now. 18 up, 18 down. See what happens. That probably fills the gap, I bet. All right. There you go. And we're off to the races already. I haven't even got to anything. Oh, look at that one. Look at that. Look. Put a target right there. Next target down. Right there. We'll see. We will see. That's pretty crazy on PANW. PANW. Alrighty. S&P still in that corrective lower high. May get a move down in this 4870 area, 4900. We may see that. If we see that flush out today, I would be cautious on Nvidia. We may see it pop on earnings if we get a big flush out today. S5FI, stocks above the 50-day moving average for the S&P, still needs to go to the bottom. Still on a path to go to the bottom. So we may see a bigger flush in the market that lasts longer than just this week. ES, the overnight action. Let's kind of look at this real quick. Still looks pretty bearish to me. Haven't quite made it all the way down to the target zone right around this 4900. NQ did make a lower low. This is interesting here. Tech leading the way down. How far down might she go? Next target down at 17,400 area, 300, 400 area. Could see this flush on down if things got a little overexcited. You know, NASDAQ was overinflated with the Magnificent 7. So, Magnificent 8 now, if you count Eli Lilly. Lilly Corp, whatever you want to say. And, Russell still needs a big drop to get down to the target zone. That's IWM right there. So ES, S&P 500, SPX, SPY, all those S&P 500 type things. NQ, QQQ, all the NASDAQ type tickers, TQQQ, SQQQ, all those QQQ, RTY, IWM, and all the derivatives that don't make any sense to me. So oil, dun, 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 just keeps churning in the zone. Hasn't broke out, hasn't broke down. Just hanging right with my roadmap line, homie. Right there. Can't seem to go up, can't seem to go down. Just hanging sideways. Eventually we'll break out. But whether we break out on the upside or break down on the downside, that'll kind of determine where we're going next. For now, no high probability anything. Coming up lower high, kind of tilts this maybe to going down, but that uptrend has been holding pretty strong. So if we come down there, hold that, then we may be, and then we go blasting off, we're probably coming up here. I'm kind of neutral on oil at the moment. Don't really have any position going because I'm not sure. We could use one more lower low that would kind of clean up all this weird choppy junk we've done since the bottom down here in December. It's kind of choppy and overlapping. Not my favorite. Looks like we may need one flush down, clean this up. I'm just not sure. Not sure. It's like an idiocracy. What's your name? Not. First name, not. Sure. So, gold. We're on a 4-day rally. And we need a flush down to a point lower than what we saw right back here in December to finish this correction up. This is just corrective sideways, lower high, lower high. Yeah, it's 2 lower highs. This will be the 3rd lower high in a row. We need a flush to clean this up. Bitcoin getting pulled back this morning. It was kind of looking green into the close yesterday, and looks like we're going to do the pullback scenario. Can we hold this $49,000, $50,000 area and then get another rally? Or are we going to crush it on down, break back below, and go retest the bottom of the channel? Which one? I don't know. My unicorn dust I have right here, sprinkling it on the market as much as I can. It's just not telling me which way we're going for sure. But there's the pathways. You know, we didn't break out yet. Sideways, looks like we're not doing the sideways. So maybe the pullback or the breakdown. We'll see which one. These are the 2 higher probability pathways at the moment. And we'll see which one it actually ends up being. All right. Ethereum coming up in that 3,000 and stopping cold. May see a retrace back down, at least to the breakout area where we had this consolidation type stuff right here. Let's see. See how we had these rejection highs right there? We may get a retrace right back down in there. See if we hold support or retest the bottom where we were kind of riding dirty below it. Then we pop back above it. May come back down. If we get below that, we may go visit the roadmap line down here. All the same. Dollar. Ooh, came back down to the roadmap line. Back down to test this consolidation zone. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? That is the question at the moment. If we break down below this, probably heading down to the mid-90s. If we break above this, probably going to 109 on the dollar index. If you need a way to trade it, UUP, FXY, FXG, FXB, FXE. Different ways to play. Nvidia, as we talked about on the head, getting a little rally. If this rallies back up here in today, if we get a big strong rally today in Nvidia, I'm thinking that we may see a big drop on earnings. Psychologic. Especially if we don't make a higher high. If we come up, make a lower high, That really sets the, I mean, look, we've already got kind of a 1, 2, start of a 3. This could be a 1, 2. We could be changing the tune here on Nvidia. I'm not betting on it either way. I have a couple, very small position, very small risk on Nvidia. I have a much larger risk on SMCI, but it's still relatively small risk, a couple $1,000s. Garmin, nice pop. That was a nice 3-wave correction, probably on the 4-hour. Oh, beautiful. Look at that roadmap line hit right there on that 4-hour chart. And right up to the target. Didn't even give you an entry. Just went right from here, right up to there. 136 would be the next upside resistance. PSA. Nice potential. From the high to the low, right at, oh, look at that consolidation right at the 618. That 618 didn't even exist until we made this low. If we break above that, that's actually, I may actually buy a couple shares. 324, possibly 340 on the upside. It's pretty strong. Wix. What a gnarly chart. I would watch for that one to top out. Probably need a pullback after all this. Nothing is very clear on this chart at all. Yeah, I don't like it. Don't like it at all. I would expect a retrace back to the roadmap line or at least back into these highs. Back, retest the support zone right there. Oh, that was cool. Not even sure what that was. Back in that support zone, watch for a retrace. If we can pull back down there, hold it, and then go higher, that would be strong on Wix. CRSP. Retrace and then pop. 93 on the upside is the next resistance. Hold, or I mean hollow, excuse me. This one just looks completely gnarly. Reverse splits are not bullish. This is like, this one shows up every day lately, and it's probably going back down. This one's probably almost a more of a sure bet that it's going down than SMCI, but there's just not much juice here. The $20 to 0 is not a large move. SMCI going from 700 to 200, that's a big move. So, while yes, I know exactly what this is going to do, it is not very easy to make money on something that's only 20 bucks going back down. So, be careful on that one. This is a complete dumpster fire of a chart. So, that's just, that looks so bad. Toll Brothers popping on up. Watch for running out of juice and coming back down. That's starting to look like the 5th wave up. We may retrace it back down. Could hold 96, could hold 88. And we'll see. PDD. That chart looks almost the exact same. Look, didn't even hardly change. If we can get above this 141 area, we're heading on up 161, 172. If not, we may push on down below the roadmap line. SOGP, Sound Group. That looks like an absolute dumpster fire. Reverse split. Popped up. They reverse split so they can stay listed. It's not very conducive to increasing share price. It instantly increases your share price because you collapse the value. You take, in this case, you take 10 shares and you make it 1 share. So if they're trading for $1, all of a sudden they're worth $10. And at this point, it was probably worth 50 cents, and now it's $5. And then we went on down. Now we're popping today, and it's just likely to keep on going down. That's kind of what we see over and over on these reverse splits. 174, 129, and then they'd have to reverse split again. It may take a while for that money to bleed off, but it's no bueno. Intuitive machines. And here's one that might be reversing out of the dumps. Losing money. Little baby retrace right there. And it's just being ridiculous. Low price stuff. Under, right around $10. Doesn't always follow the pattern. I would expect a retrace, but hey, we can keep pumping money into garbage. I don't know. Baidu looks like just consolidating in the box. Popping this morning, but not really going anywhere. And JBT, just sideways garbage. Sideways garbage. Under the roadmap line, sideways garbage. PANW, yeah. That one dropping the frick out right there. Maybe we come on down. I'm going to set another alert at 250. And I'm going to set an alert at 300. At this point, there's the high, there's the low so far. If we make a lower low, we got to move it. Move up through 335 would indicate we're probably going up to 420, maybe 470. This is what I'm talking about. These things need a flush, all right? Nvidia can do that. We see it, all right? It's not that rare. SMCI needs that kind of flush. Right back down to the roadmap line. Sitting right around 400. It's probably going to hold up today with Nvidia. If Nvidia gets a big flush tonight, this one's probably going to bleed out everywhere. CRWD, you can fade me if you want to. And just go buy, go long SMCI, go long Nvidia. Eventually, I have time. I bought time on purpose. Crowd looks like it's coming back down to the roadmap line. Right in there. MSTR, that one may come on down. As I said yesterday, we get below that point, probably coming down to this level, right down here. We get below that, we're probably going back down to the roadmap line for another revisit. And we basically hit the target at 800. We hit the target. That's all, that's all you can expect. I thought based on the several prior times that we did the roadmap line bounce that we would get an extension. Guess what? Maybe not. Maybe not this time. So we'll see what happens here. We touched just at the bottom of the target and retrace. It's been nothing but red, 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 red. May flush right on back down here before we can build strength to go up again. Or we may come all the way down to the roadmap line. This is entirely possible here. It may come back to the roadmap line. ZS. Oh, getting close. Getting close. Has earnings coming up next week. I'm telling you, all this stuff has been hyped up. Just going up forever, never looking back. The market doesn't pull back. I've heard that so many times. Be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful. If Nvidia pops, it's going to flush this market out. Lily, getting a little bit of retrace flush here. Big red candle yesterday. The roadmap line is all the way down here. I would love, 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 love to see this finally go retest that. It would give you an excellent potential entry if we hold support at the roadmap line and start up again. An excellent, excellent, excellent potential entry. Same with NVO. I don't even think that's on the list, but NVO, if it'll go retest the roadmap line. Nice potential entry, long term. Buy some shares, buy whatever, buy a share, $100. Be a nice long term potential. RGEN. That is, unless the GLP-1 drugs start killing people or something. So far, sounds like not. Sounds like they're actually a life-changing thing for a lot of people. RGEN. Support down here, right around 171. SEDG. Book to learn Elliott Wave. The Bible for Elliott Wave theory is the book by Frost and Pretcher. That one right there. You can buy it on Amazon. Elliott Wave Principle, Key to Market Behavior by Frost and Pretcher. SEDG, just churning, popping right back down. If we get below this, we're probably going on down to 53, maybe 39. That would not be awesome. Look at how much money they lost. I told you. I've been telling you for 2 years. This is not the environment. Raising rate environment is not the environment for losing tons of money in the market. CyberArk coming back. Roadmap lines where I would expect. Yeah, it's an easy read, as Patrick says. If you're in the VIP group, I broke it down, the rules. I spent a whole day just going over the 6 pages of rules and guidelines. And that's in the recording for the in-person event we did in January. Golly, seems like a long time ago, but it was just last month. And I have a PDF of the 6 pages posted in Discord for the VIP group. If you're not in the VIP group, join the VIP group if you want access to that. I'm not just going to post it for everybody. Wingstop. Man, that is an overcooked chart. Overcooked wings. Who wants them? That needs to come back. At least back down in here. It could come back to the roadmap line and not even do a retest of the breakout. That'd be pretty strong. ASML. There. I kind of expect... Golly. All this stuff might roll tonight if Nvidia rolls. We got in this one back here. We got out up here. That's overcooked. Watch out. PRT. Watch out. Retrace. When they've all done this, I just have to expect a retrace to the roadmap line. That one not doing anything. Sideways choppy garbage for almost a year. Just doing nothing. Why do you want to be involved in that? It doesn't even look like it's made any kind of reversal. Doesn't look like it's done anything. Ugh, gross. SOXX has popped up probably to where that fib line came from. Yeah, we're up past the 1618. I retrace back to the breakout level, back to the roadmap line. It just resets everything, makes it so we can go higher again. If we can just do that retrace. Coin, if we can come down here, I may actually buy a position if we retrace back to the 150 area. 160 was my breakout level. We came up, made a higher high. That could be a 1-2 setup. Not sure. Could just be a crazy B wave that made a higher thing, and we could actually see a move on down. So I've got to see this hold this zone. Otherwise, if we get down here, we could come for an extension. We did come up short of the roadmap line before. FNGU, that's a leveraged ETN. Leverage is super dangerous. Be careful, and may come back to the roadmap line down here. If we get a bigger flush in NASDAQ. IFF, International Flavors and Fragrances. That sounds like a fun place to work. That only looks like 3 waves up. Watch for support right here. If we get below that, we may go on down to 56. If we can turn up, break out the next extension. At this point, potentially up to 86, 89. If we get a little more little further pullback puts us up to 87.91. We'll see where we get to on IFF. GLBE, Golf, Lima, Bravo, Echo, dropping down below the roadmap line. One wave, two wave. That looks like we're going on down. Possibly down to 19. ARM. One of these days, we're coming back to 80. Not too far now. Look, this is what SMCI might do. Just, you'll just have to scale up by almost 1,000, a 10x. Right back down to the consolidation zone. We've already had, it's 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 day. They usually take 1 to 3 weeks to come back down to a reasonable level. Be careful. Snow. I did the levels for the S&P 500. You just have to knock a 0 off. It was right at the beginning. Lisa. Snow looks like she wants to come back too. As I said last night, I really want to see this one actually correct this whole thing. This was so choppy and overlapping. I want to see this flush right down, make a lower low, right around 100. I'll probably load up the boat. I'll probably take a substantial position in snow if we do that. Otherwise, if we don't, I'll just wait. There's nothing high probability on this chart at all right now. This looks like a big corrective move. Looks like we want to go down. FTNT. Looks like a correction. Could that have been the bottom? Yeah, 1, 2, possibly. Off that low to that high. At the 50%, the 618 right down below us. Well, not quite the 50 of that move, I guess. We're at the 50 of the prior swing. We need to come on down. Let's move this guy up here. You come down in this zone, right in here. A little bit lower. I'm actually going to put an alert right there. I might buy that one if we get that, because the upside potential, and going from like 57 up to like 100, that'd be pretty nice. You just sit on some shares for that. EMPH. I don't know. It's coin flip. Coin flip. Looking gnarly. We get below here, going down. We break out above these highs, potentially going up. Coin flip. TDOC. Oh, that's what happens when you find resistance at the roadmap line. That one's set up to go down to 13, possibly 10. Hack. Probably coming back down. A lot of the cybersecurity stuff got hit hard when Palo Alto Networks got slammed last night. So we're seeing a lot of these get fleeced today. P-Lab. Right back to the roadmap line. Hit the target on the upside. Came back to the roadmap line. Classic price action right there. Classic price action. Could it go lower? Sure as beep it can. If it's going higher, break back above 31, 36, 39 in the upside. And that can hold support. So we want to see this hold support in this area. Up. Hold support in this area. And go higher. If, I remind you, like Walmart, we held support in that area and we went higher. Now Walmart's probably coming down again. But something like FedEx, we did the pop and we did the drop and we're continuing to drop. So just because they come back to the roadmap line doesn't mean they're going again. All right. Story of two charts there. See, we do the high and the low right there. We hit the 1272, right back to the roadmap line, and we're continuing to drift lower. Whereas Walmart, we hit the 1272 of this prior pullback over here. This one right here. The 1272, back to the roadmap line, dipped a little bit, and ripped right up to the 1618 is the next one. All the way up 1618. And now we're probably going to come back down and correct again. So just because it does this doesn't mean we're going for the next run. Wait for it to prove it to you. 36.39, next potential. I mean, look, the last time was pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. Right up to the 1618. Could you buy some shares now? You could. Is this necessarily smart? No, I'd wait till we start breaking higher. Don't try to catch the knife. You say catch the knife, these red candles can make you all bloody, make your account bleed out. So I wouldn't catch the knife. I'd wait till it showed some support and started moving up. I like to buy in the up direction when I'm going long. DDOG. Looks like we're coming back down, at least to test this support, if not the roadmap line. And maybe these two things come over here together. Right over here. SPT, the list on the downside was big today. I mean, we had just a few advancers and a lot of decliners. A lot of decliners. SPT looks like it's coming down to the roadmap line. Haven't really gotten there for a while. All these found support. I don't want to see that. Come on down. AMPL. Holy moly. Holy guacamole. 1, 2, 3. That looks like it's going to extend to the downside. Probably down to 7 would be my expectation. Does it have to? No, doesn't have to, but that turns red today. Probably going down there. That could be the bottom, but doesn't look like it. HSBC probably getting slammed on the Capital One deal. Some earnings, missing on the top, missing on the bottom. Came up short $2.4 billion. That's kind of bearish. Downside targets. 1, 2, 3. Probably 32. Right in the zone right here. Would not surprise me one bit to see this move right there. Am I going to trade for it? No, I'm not trading that. NET. Probably coming back down to the roadmap line. That went a little extra spicy, extra caliente. Looking forward to come back down to the roadmap line. And for Spinborn, caliente is hot. And AMD. And probably on the path. Come back down here. Back down to around 100. CIBR. Probably coming back down to the roadmap line right there. 50. Would not surprise me one bit. It's an ETF on cybersecurity. Kava, we talked about this one yesterday. Probably coming back down to the roadmap line. I don't have enough chart to really do it, but it's a lower high. Probably coming back down to at least the roadmap line, if not going lower. GHEC, right up to the resistance. Pull back. Roadmap line will be where I would expect it to go. Back to the roadmap line. That is healthcare, biotech, medtech. Caution is advised. And FSLR. Looks like we're going to go down. 116. Sentinel-1 getting slammed on the cybersecurity. Leasing. Probably coming back down to the roadmap line after that move up to the 1618. ADI. Already at the roadmap line. Already hit the upside target. That one may not be clear on what it's going to do next. I mean, look, that's a pretty major support or resistance. Excuse me. Pretty major resistance. If we can break through, it may actually make a run. Make a lot of chips. And this, not like GPU type chips, but a lot of, when you look at a circuit board, a lot of the other chips on the board are made by ADI. Quite a few of them. RPD. Roadmap line. Somewhere down here around 52. SMH. That looks like it's going to bleed out at some point in time. Watch for that to roll. OKTA. Sideways choppy. Sideways is what I would expect. Maybe back to the bottom of the box. Back down around 68. It's just been in this. Hadn't been able to break out of this gap fill. I say over and over, these gap fill zones are strong resistance. It hasn't built up enough strength to get out of there yet. And while it could break out 96, 104, but it could also go back down and retest the bottom where we've been support several times. Nothing clear on OKTA. AMAT, after doing the head and shoulders blast off, I kind of expect a retrace back down to 150 area. And that's the bottom of the list finally. So if there's any key takeaway you had out of the whole thing today, please let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this later in the day. And my expectation for today is kind of a lackluster, probably correction continues type of deal. While we could wrap this thing up, I don't think we're going to. We may get a bounce that just kind of plays around inside here. This move down or retrace like a 618. Got the S&P here. Dun, 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 dun. So right here, this drop we had yesterday into this morning, we may retrace it back up to this 5,000 area. Right in here before we turn down and make the next leg down. Otherwise, we'll just continue on down. Lower low from here can wrap it up. Be careful, be cautious. Anything lower than about 49.20 can put the kibosh on this thing. All right. So, as always, I'd love to hear from you. If you write in and tell me what you learned today, that's super helpful. Takeaway. I'm trying to make content that engages more. So, thank you all for giving me feedback. And we'll see you tomorrow for another 30 minutes of, or not 30 minutes, for another Morning Monster. Same bat time, same bat channel. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up. Hit the button if anything I said was useful. Make sure you're a subscriber. And